Hi, Katrina. Well, we've taken a look at this one before, and I think you've posted a couple more, but I need you to use the file naming system beginning with your last name for every file you post. I'll look at them as soon as you rename them and repost them, and that goes for others too. Um, this drawing is strong. One area that I like in particular um, is the place where the pinky folds over. There, I feel as though you're looking closely, trying to analyze. In some ways, the fingernails become very round and they're drawn in a stylized way or maybe by rote, whereas the thumb is drawn with more care. So I'd say you have the idea of method, but you could go a little more slowly. But perhaps you have with the new ones. Okay, Michelle, well, I've already written you a note in Draft's Review about this work. Remember that this is a line drawing and you want to very slowly travel around the hand's contours, both interior contours and the edge, um, with just line, moving your pencil very slowly as if you were following an ant that was crawling over those contours and your eye moves at the same slow speed. Um, you know, you might look at a couple of drawings that Desi has here, and there are a couple more of your classmates who are really moving along with this particular method. I would like you to go back and practice this method and show me some drawings that are made according to it. Well, hi, Bob. I get the impression that you are pressing hard with your pencil, and I'd like you to lighten up a little bit so that your lines can be a little more fluid so that you don't have the brakes on all the while. I see some good qualities in these drawings, and I was mentioning um, that Desi had some good examples of contour line drawings. I think that Kimberly and Chris also have got the method down pretty well. I'd like you to study what they're up to. That's the direction I'd like you to go in. Um, one thing that's missing here are indications of interior contours. Also, I feel as though you could spend more time on each drawing and maybe give yourself a little more paper so that you've got elbow space so you're not crowded. I like to see more drawings from you using this method. Well, hello, Amanda. These are beautiful drawings and they show a great deal of proficiency. The ones on the left show a lovely sense of composition, particularly the one where the hand is making a sort of C shape. Um, you know, while these drawings are so lovely, I don't feel as though you're working with the contour line method as well as you could be. In other words, could there be a contour that also dips into the crevices of the knuckles? For instance, looking at the thumb there, I feel as though you've drawn the outside edge of the hand and then you filled in some details. And I'd like you to understand this more as a unified idea where mm, the interior lines sometimes connect with the outside edge. Mason, among the drawings you have here, I think it's probably the one on the left that shows the contour method best of all. Um, I like the way you've drawn the lower right side edge of the hand. I feel as though the fingers are all very similar, and that's suggesting to me that this is perhaps more stylized than drawn from observation. So I don't want you to try to get the look of the contour line drawing as much as I want you to experience what it's like to make a drawing very slowly while your uh, eye is moving at the pace of an ant crawling over the various contours, studying, observing, perceiving, and at the same slow pace, your hand is recording on the page what it is your eye sees. Now, I was just wondering about your workspace. Do you have a good place to draw? Do you have a desk you can sit at? Maybe an easel with a drawing board on it? Be sure to give yourself, the advantage of having a comfortable workspace. The last thing you want to do is be there drawing on a pad on your lap. It won't afford you the sort of control that you'll need to have. Kimberly, you've got some lovely drawings here, the best of which is the bottom one. Mm. You know, I would like you to include the wrist and landmarks on it when you draw the hand. And look for um, creases that go across the wrist or uh, protruding shapes of bones below. The wrist is typically a bony form. Crystal, I feel that in this drawing on the left, you are closing in on the contour line drawing idea. The drawings that you show on the right are standard observational drawings. They don't show that continuous line and the focus on the edge and even the curious abstraction that happens when we're so focused on detail that the proportion or composition winds up being out of whack. I would like you to practice this variety of drawings some more, and gee, I wouldn't mind seeing some of the drawings that you make. Desi, thanks for posting so many drawings. It gives us an idea of your exploration. It's interesting to see these ones where the hand is just silhouetted without the interior contours. They are drawn sensitively. They're lovely drawings. However, when we see the contours traversing the form, the knuckles, the creases inside the palm of the hand, the drawing becomes so much more interesting. You know, I think the bottom left and top right ones look very good, but as I was saying to a couple of your classmates, I wonder what happens when we got four fingers in a row. Is there a tendency to homogenize the fingers to make them look more like one another than they actually do? I'm thinking what you don't want to do with this variety of drawing is draw something by rote from memory or to stylize it. I want you to remain so attuned to your subject that things wind up being particular. There are idiosyncrasies. Chris, you have this idea down. These are among the most sensitive of the contour line drawings done blindly that I've been looking at of late. Really lovely touch. As I've said to some of your peers, I like to see people include a wrist as well as fingers and a hand. And I want you to work on your scanning method. Something's going on here. I don't know if you've got a dark colored cover for your pad behind your paper that's somehow showing through, but I want you to work on Photoshop and scanning, and let me know if you need help. You might want to visit the Photoshop Learning Center to see what they have on this topic. Hello, Nina. At first glance, your drawings don't really seem to fit what we're looking for, but the longer I look at them, the more I appreciate how tuned in you were to slight shifts in, the pose of your hand. And having drawn and studied anatomy for a long time, I can see that there is a certain astute accuracy here. Now, I want to point out that this sort of drawing can take more time than what you've given it, and a goal here was also to include interior contours. I don't think it'd be a bad idea for you to do more drawings of this variety, and I also want you to do some totally blind where you don't peek at the paper at all, so things wind up being a little wacky like what you see in Chris's just above.